President Ramaphosa came to this summit with a clear message in mind: get more COVID vaccines to more countries more quickly. But while G7 leaders have agreed to share 1 billion doses across the globe by next year, President Ramaphosa says his calls for a TRIPS waiver haven't been ignored.
What we have been able to get from, say, the European countries is the agreement that the World Trade Organization process must ensue, and there must be negotiations that are based on the text. And we'd like to believe that, having encountered negativity and opposition right at the beginning, the position has softened, it has become much more reasonable.
South Africa and India have been pressing leaders for a TRIPS waiver agreement. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson maintains that even without it, progress is being made.
Everybody, leaders have pledged over 1 billion doses, either directly or through funding to COVAX. That includes 100 million from the UK to the world's poorest countries, which is another big step towards vaccinating the world.
Getting everyone vaccinated is, experts say, the only way out of this pandemic. Falmouth, which has played host to the G7 media village, is currently experiencing its own COVID outbreak. And with infection rates rising once again, there is no word yet on when travel routes between the UK and South Africa will be reopened.
The situation with COVID and the various strains seems to be changing on a day-to-day basis. New ones are popping up all the time, and you never know where they're going to go, how quickly they're going to spread. So it's a very fluid situation, and every country has to do whatever they can to keep their own population safe.
There were announcements on the environment and protecting biodiversity too, including a $705 million fund for marine ecosystems in countries including Ghana and Indonesia, and with sea levels rising, a G7 combined commitment of $100 billion a year to help developing countries put their weight behind carbon-reducing targets.
So that's going to be used for a range of things. Adaptation, so making sure that developing countries can deal with the impacts of climate change that we're already going to see, whether that's rising sea levels, forests or sustainable agriculture. But then it's also mitigation measures to make sure that they are preparing for a world that is zero carbon. So is their industry decarbonising? Are they using their land use appropriately? It's actions across the slate to make sure that they're ready for 2050 and net zero.
It is that coming together of nations that President Ramaphosa has praised. President Ramaphosa welcomed South Africa's invitation to join this weekend's summit, but said more progress is needed on vaccines and on support for developing nations in order to really make a difference. For now, though, the leaders and their teams must start their journeys home, and the tiny Cornish village that has played host to some of the biggest names in politics returns to normality. Laura Macon-Isherwood, SABC News, Cornwall.